Then we scanned into Rolly computer and pasted picture of our heads into the bodies from the card. After that, we got some clips out of long tools and put it all together. Then we print it out, and I have to say it looked great. I did some math, and I figured it would cost us at least a couple $100 in coloring categories and paper to make enough layer from the whole neighborhood. So we asked Rolly that if had got out to the store and get us all the stuff we needed. Mr. Jefferson didn't go for it. In fact, he told us we couldn't use his computer print out any more copies of our flyer. I was a little surprised by that because if Mr. Jefferson wanted us to pay him back, he sure wasn't making it easy, but all we could really do was talk or unfly and get out of his office. Then me and Rolly went around from house to house showing everyone our flyer and telling them about the VIP loan service. After we hit a few houses, we realized it will be a lot easier to just ask the next person we spoke with to pass the flyer along so me and Rolly wouldn't have to do all that walking. Not only thing we have to do is sit back and wait for phone calls for start rolling in Thursday. Me and Rolly waited around all day yesterday, but we didn't get any calls. I was starting to wonder if we should try to find a car with more muscular guys for our next flyer. Then at about 11 this morning, we got a call from Mr. Conflate, who lives on Grandma Street. She said her lawn needed moving, but she wanted to check our reference before she hurried us. I used to do lawn work for Grandma, so I called her up and asked if she call Mr. Conflate and tell her what a good worker I am. Well, I must have got Grandma on a bad day because she really led into the she said I left piles of leaves or hair lawn last autumn, and now there were bits of dead grass all over her yard. Then she asked me when I was gonna come over and finish the job. That was not really the kind of response I was looking for. I told Grandma we were only taking paying jobs at the moment, but maybe we could get back to there later on in the summer. Then I called Mr. Conflate and did my best impression of Grandma. I guess I'm lucky my voice hasn't changed yet. Believe it or not, Mr. Conflate, but it is she. Thanks, Grandma, for the reference and hung up. Then she called back a few minutes later and I answered in my regular voice. Mr. Conflate said she'd hear us and that they should come by her house later to get started. But it's kind of far from my house to Mr. Conflate, so I asked her if she could come get us. She didn't seem really happy that we didn't have our own transportation, but she didn't willing to pick up if we could be ready at noon. Mrs. Conflate came to my house at 12 in her son's pickup truck, and she asked us where our lawn mower and all more equipment was. I said I didn't actually have any equipment but had my gram kept her set door unlocked and I might to be able to sneak in and borrow her mower for a few hours. I guess Mr. Conflate must have been pretty desperate to get her lawn mowed because she was lying along with my plan. Luckily, Grandma wasn't home, so it was easy to get the mower out of her house. We rolled it over the Mr. Conflate yard, and then we were ready to get to work. That's when me and Rolly realized neither one of us and or actually operate a lawnmower before, so the two of us poked around for a while and tried figure out how to get the thing started. Unfortunately, when we tilted the mower on still set, all the full spell out onto the grass, and we had to go back over the grammar to get a reflate. I picked up the owner manual for the mower while we were at it. I tried to read it, but the instructions were written in Spanish. I got the feeling from the bit and piece I could understand that operating a lawnmower was a lot more dangerous than I originally thought. I thought Rolly he could have the first crack at the long movie and that I would go sit in the shed and start working on our business plan. Rolly didn't like that idea at all. He said this was a partnership and everything had to be 50-50. I was pretty surprised by his because I am on who came up with idea for the loan service in the first place, so I was more like the owner than a partner. Although really was needed someone to do groundwork and someone to handle the money, so it didn't get all sweetie. Believe it or not, that was enough to make really walk right off the job. We continue.